Thank you for being a friend. Traveled around the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And I forgot the rest of the words. Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 119. My name is Matthew Keel at Infinite_Rewind on every social media platform I choose to accept. Alongside me is not Corey, our video in chief, is taking the night off, taking care of some personal stuff, and I feel like he and I are just trading it now. So every other week you'll get me, and then every other week you'll get Corey, but Moose ain't going anywhere. How are you, Moose?
They think. I'm good. Doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. I was out. I was out. Like Corey's taking care of just some stuff, some life things, and that's totally fine. I was out last week because my grandmother had a heart attack, and
She's doing it right now, right?
Oh, it's fucking crazy, man. Like I get there. Or well, actually, my partner Reba and I, we both get there, and they start explaining to us what happened, and everything is starting to sound to us like we're not doctors, but we're both aware of like medical stuff enough to know the difference between a heart attack and stroke. And we're like, are you sure she didn't have a stroke? Well, apparently she had multiple heart attacks, multiple strokes.
Jesus.
And I was home from Saturday to Tuesday, or no, Wednesday. I'm sorry. I was home from Saturday to Wednesday. And by the time I left, not only was she speaking in complete sentences, she was like walking around and out of intensive care. Like granted, when you have a heart attack or a stroke, there's going to be some long lasting effects. Like she can't see out of her right side very well.
Perip's gone.
She probably won't drive again. She probably won't be able to live independently. But this woman, like my grandmother, is a tiny 85-year-old Sicilian woman. Okay. She's just the warmest, one of the warmest people I've ever met. And like, honestly, I was expecting to say goodbye to her for the last time. And now I don't think I've done that. So like
that's good.
It sucked the reason I had to go out. But I wanted to at least see my grandmother one more time. She's one of my favorite people in the world. And I've never been more just awestruck by just seeing her just kind of bounce back. Like when I went to see her, it was nice to see her face light up, and she said my name, and she hadn't said a lot of people's names to that point. She gave me a big old hug, and it was good. Like, but it was nice to see a bunch of my cousins, and Reba got to meet more of my family because my parents' side of the family is rather huge. And when we last went to Iowa, she only got to meet a fraction of it. And we organized a gathering for like 30 people, and that's a fraction of my family. so Reba's still meeting new people on that side. So kind of like every time she goes to Iowa, I'll probably just bring out a chunk of the family and see how that goes. But
yeah,
but that it was good. She's doing a lot better. Reports from home is they're basically waiting for her to stabilize just a bit more before they discharge her from the hospital completely. What? So kudos to Grandma. She's a tough old broad.
So did she live with someone before the incident happened?
No,
like maybe her parents or aunt or uncle or something.
The day she went to the hospital, she had like a full day of activities planned. Like she was driving around. like this woman did not need anybody. And now this is probably the first time she's ever actually needed people. Like it's crazy.
It's good that she didn't have the stroke or heart attacks while she was driving, man. Whew.
Yeah,
it could have been dangerous. Yeah. That's good. That was lucky.
Yeah,
it's luck.
Yeah, I mean, and she called my mom before she called 911, and she's just like not feeling well.
And how old is she again? I'm sorry.
85.
85. Man, I don't know if I want to live to be 85. What about you?
You know, part of me wants to. Like, if I could be the way she is now,
yeah,
I'll take 85.
Yeah,
I have a feeling I'm not going to be like that by the time I get there.
Well, yeah, maybe. Might be able to turn the ship around. We both might be able to.
I hope so. Like, I mean, the past few weeks with like, you know, just like doing all that on top of working nights, it's been really hard to just rebalance myself. So I haven't been able to go to the gym.
Yeah.
So hopefully in the next week or so I can get back to that. But how have you been otherwise? I listened to your guys' show last week. Good job.
Thank you. Good. Doing good, man. So everything's going all right over here. Just rocking and rolling, playing video games, streaming.
Cool.
Works.
You playing anything?
Down to control. Playing a lot.
Okay, let's talk about it. Oh, and I just want to say I did listen to the most recent Nerds Gone Platinum. You kind of got fucked.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it right now.
Well, I got Persona 5.
You can talk about Marshall, you know, lumping in 4 games into his.
Yeah, even with his, he still doesn't have. I think
you got fucked.
I think he has the most games, but I have the most. Well, although he's got Divinity Original Sin, which is about 80 plus hours, and he also has Dragon Age Inquisition, which could be 40 to 60 hours. So he's got a lot of longer games.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably run the average for next week when we do, you know, just to see what the times are.
Yeah.
For him, but I think Jeff has the shortest amount because he's got like 2 Infamous games, Prey and Shadow. So like he has like
Shadow's
basically nothing.
Shadow's
he's got like nothing to play as far as like timeline goes. And then like I've got Persona, I've got Demon Souls, and then the Infamous games, and then I can't remember what the other one was. I'd have to look. But anyways, it's just
BioShock.
BioShock.
BioShock and Infamous are your 2 short games. Which you said you hadn't played BioShock? I thought you had.
Nope. Just like the smallest amount. I don't even think I've played like an hour. Not even. So.
Oh really, man?
Yeah, it's bad. So I need to play BioShock and have some fun with that. But
I will at least take you to test. I thought you guys were a little rough on her. Like, I thought you guys were a little rough, but then she.
What do you mean?
You haven't played God of War. You haven't played you guys were.
I wasn't rough. I was just that was more out of shock than like picking on her.
But she got y'all back when you guys had to do your list because she was throwing out shade left and right.
Oh no, I know she was.
which good for her. Good for PlayStation. What was her? I forget. Her name was Carrie. I don't remember her last name, but she's the managing editor of PlayStation Lifestyle, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So good for her.
It's Konia. I can't remember. I'd have to look. I apologize.
It's fine.
Listening. Not really.
It's fine. But yeah, you guys, I think you got fucked.
Nah. Well, I need to play Demon Souls anyways, because then I'll only have 1 Dark Souls game to complete for me to have finished all of them. So
I wonder how the server issue. I mean, I don't think it affects it, but I wonder if the server issue affects the platinum.
I don't know. It's I don't know, like Honey, Honea.
Okay.
Is that how you would pronounce it?
Or it's probably Honea, or it could be Honey. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, but I don't know what's going to happen with the platinum. I probably won't be able to get it. unless, well, I don't know. Were there multiplayer? Were there co-op trophies?
There were no like particular co-op trophies, but I do know that the world tendency thing had an online component. I don't know if they just patched that out. But I do know that the world tendency thing is if you want to go after all the rings, you have to pay attention to world tendency.
Okay.
But like, you know, I mean, hopefully we'll get a remaster on that.
Well, maybe hopefully that's what Blue Point's working on.
Hopefully,
We'll
but I mean that would be fucking cool. But yeah, and also like I know it's my favorite of the Souls games, but like I don't expect you to come out of it on the other side going, this is better than Bloodborne, so, because I don't think you will.
I don't think I will either, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, I think you'll probably see how much Bloodborne takes from it, because Bloodborne does take a lot from Demon Souls. It takes a lot more from Demon Souls than it does Dark Souls.
Which is probably understandable since they were both Sony had From Software make them. But
yeah.
So the challenge list pretty interesting. Challenge, but not a challenge list. We also got something else we're going to be working on. Where we're going to be doing co-op platinums. So like games like Mercenary Kings, where we can co-op together, like pre-sequel. Maybe Monster Hunter 2, Borderlands 2, like stuff that we can work on together. Excuse me, and stream and be able to like put those videos up.
Cool.
Is what we're gonna try and do. So that's something else we got going. And then so what I've been playing this week is a shit ton of Bloodborne.
Yeah,
like a crap ton. So I started 2 weeks ago. I started a character to do a fresh playthrough. It's called the Misadventures of Moose. Episode 1 went up last Wednesday. Episode 2 will be up this Wednesday. And I basically just go through the game and stream it and show you. It's kind of like a tips guide type video, but it's also me just having fun running through it. So Friday, I beat the main game, the main campaign in the game, and then started the DLC. So there's like 15 videos. So like I'm good for like the rest of the year as far as having to record content for it. And so I was trying to do that actually just to get them out there, And so we're going to try and do them every Wednesday. And then I streamed I've been playing Red Dead. So it's been Bloodborne. I tried some Helldivers again because Helldivers released a new patch.
Yeah, a new hell,
which gives you. So like the Helldive used to be level 12, and now there's level 13, 14, and 15. So the Helldive is still 12, but then there's like 3 new levels of insanity, and there's some new bosses, and there's some new gear. But I don't know how you get the new gear because it's not available for you. Like, you don't just get it and then you upgrade. Like, I think you probably have to earn it from a dive, like we did the last batch that they put out. And so played a little bit of that. That was fun. We had a Platinum Plays with, or wait, no, I think the Platinum Plays with me and Justin goes up Wednesday or tomorrow. No, it goes up tomorrow. Where Justin, Doss, and I played some Helldivers. So we got a Platinum Plays going on. But so played some of that, and then what else? I'm trying to think of what else I've been trying. I didn't really play any of Spider-Man, but like that's about it. At work, I started up a new playthrough of Breath of the Wild on my Japanese account, so that's pretty entertaining. I'll probably be playing more of that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly just been doing Bloodborne. So like I have the build I'm doing is just a regular strength build, and then I have a skill build that I've been working on, and then I think I'm going to start an arcane build. So that should be fun. I've been watching a streamer, Eddie Two T's, or sorry, Eddie Jesus, Richie Two T's, Teas. He's pretty awesome. He's in England and he streams more towards like the morning, and then finishes up like around 2 or so. So like I'll go in and he'll already started to stream. But anyway, so he's doing a arcane build, and I've been watching him play, and it's pretty fun. And then I found some people who are doing like speed runs and no hit runs and limited hit runs, and I'm just like, yeah, I love this game, but I don't love it that much.
Yeah.
So, but I think an arcane build would be interesting to have, and like it would be interesting for me on how to whatchamacallit, God, I just lost my train of thought because Matt came in the chat. Oh, like with just streaming on PS4, I think it would be hard to like count the amount of times I was hit or whatever to try and do a limited hit run or no hit run. There was another guy I was hosting today that he was doing a no travel through the Hunter's Dream or no warping to the Hunter's Dream. So he was basically just playing through the game without leveling, without going to buy supplies. I guess he would have to buy. The only thing he would go back for and get is the stuff you're forced to, like the Hunter Chief Emblem to open up the Cathedral Ward. Like you have to go back for that. And so I guess he went for that and then didn't do anything else but bought that and then got out, and that's what it is. So it's
Gilbert Godfrey.
Good old Gideon.
Oh, buddy. Missed that guy.
Yeah, what do you
mean I yell?
So been watching them. So it's been pretty entertaining. It's fun. Like learn some new stuff about some of the items in Bloodborne, like the Beast Blood palettes are way more useful.
Oh, yeah, they're like it's. I mean, that's one thing I love about those games is there's that one item you're like, what the fuck does this do forever? And then you try and mess with it a little bit, you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, because it does an insane amount of damage if you can build up your meter. If you continually do damage, and so it's rather nice. Like I started the DLC, and 2 of the streamers that I became friends with through Richie 2T's channel, they came in and helped me with the DLC. We were all 3 of us were running through that, and then so we all popped a Beast Blood pellet, and then like just tore in to Ludwig. Like Ludwig was dead in like I don't even think it was 10 seconds. Like he was dead in like no time. So that's true. He isn't a big guy, but he definitely carry 230 packs across.
I figured that out around my 3rd or 4th character. Through Bloodborne, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is like the secret best thing in the game.
I still to this day can't stand the Saw Cleaver. I can't stand it. I can't stand that weapon. Sadly, I think that's what people use when they're building the arcane build, just because the rocking between the R1, L1, the tricks switch, like, is supposed to put a lot of DPS out for bosses. I don't know. Like, I'd have to get that trick down and really try and use it to judge. But like, I feel the hunter axe does way more damage against a boss than the saw cleaver. Yes, Matt. Captain America's in the chat asking, all right, soul snobs, the Surge, should I play it? Yes. Play
Captain America?
Or Captain Canada.
I have not played the Surge. I've bought it twice, though.
How'd you buy it twice?
Because I'm an idiot. Don't worry about it. We don't need to talk about it.
Wait.
We don't need to talk about it.
That hurts my head. How did you buy it twice?
Physical. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. Look, man.
Then we got it for free. For free.
No, I know. Oh, no. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. One of these days I'll play it. We don't need to talk about it.
I think that should be your game you play next year.
I want to play it, but I just keep getting distracted. What else you play? Anything else?
No, that's it. Stop streaming Spelunky and stream the Surge.
No, I'm streaming Spelunky until I beat Yama. Once I beat Yama, that's it. I'm done. I will uninstall Spelunky.
Well, that's not beating the game, is it?
It is
That's
actually
an extra boss. No, you said you've beaten the game 4 times.
Yeah, I've beaten the game 4 times, but I want to beat Yama. Damn it!
Well, what is Yama? Is that the end boss?
That's the one. You have to get to hell to beat Yama.
So then technically you haven't beaten the game 4 times.
Yes, I have. I've seen credits 4 times. That's the secret ending.
Okay, so you got the scrub ending.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I was like, what is going on here? Then no, you haven't beaten it.
I've beaten Olmec 4 times. 2 of those times have resulted in me getting to hell, and I have not been to Yama yet. So I played for a lot of time. I didn't play a lot of games. I'm gonna do some shit talking. We can always talk about Hotline Miami. I'm gonna do some shit talking. Dark Souls on the Switch. I'm gonna say it right now. Not good.
Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't.
It's not because it's like, you know, it's not because it has the Dark Souls bugs, because those things existed on PS3.
They probably still exist on PS4. So.
Yeah, the UI and everything is really, it's backwards to the point just far enough that it ruins it. Like, I've been trying to scroll through my item thing while fighting a boss, and it's just to find out that, like, what I'm doing, what I know to do, isn't working, and it is basically ruined that game. Like, on the plane, I got all the way to Smog and Ornstein. So, like, I've played enough. I've played enough of it, and had enough of a problem with it that, like, I can't remap my head.
So they switch the buttons up.
Yes.
So basics. So
now, I don't know what it's like when you play it on your TV, mind you. I only know what it's like to play handheld, and on handheld,
well, it's probably the same on your TV because they use the same button mapping for their controllers. You know, like B and A.
Yeah, and I'm just saying that.
Is that what they switched? B and A.
B and A, and I had some issues going through the little item toggle, like where you go for your spells and everything.
It's not down on the D-pad.
I mean, it probably is, but it was my point is, I've played those games enough that I'm thinking one way, and this is probably just my problem. I'm totally on board with accepting that. But for some reason, when I was doing what I felt I needed to do to get things done, and different things were happening, like I was trying to go to my Estus flask, so I pop the button for the Estus flag, and a pyromancy goes off. I don't think that should happen.
Probably not.
So and that could be because the action buttons are remapped, as well as the toggle buttons. I can't remap my brain, and that is probably me being the problem, and I'll accept that. But I'm not doing it anymore. That is the first time I've ever thought a version of these games were bad. And
so you're giving up on the Switch version?
Oh yeah, I've got enough stress in my life.
Interesting. You know, because I was sitting there and I was watching some streaming of Bloodborne, and I was like, man, I wish the PS4 was a little more portable, like a portable system, so I could bring it into work and play some Bloodborne. But it's not, and I sat there and I was like, I should just get Salt and Sanctuary. I should pick up Salt and Sanctuary on the Switch,
which
So I
is
can
great.
sit here and play that
I got farther on Switch than I got on PS4.
while I'm watching people stream. But
Yeah. And Phillips in the chat says probably more of an issue for a Souls vet than a new player.
That's true.
That's a fair statement.
Especially people who are just Nintendo people.
Yeah.
Don't play anything else. They're just gonna be like, okay, whatever. This all makes sense to me.
I mean, like this does not ruin Dark Souls for me. I think it's like when you're playing. It's just like when you move to a different console. Like, I mean, there were probably some analogs in the '90s where you went from playing this game on Super Nintendo to playing the same game on Sega Genesis. There was something different that you just couldn't. There was a mental muscle memory type thing that you just couldn't. That bridge you just couldn't cross, and that's totally fine. Like I don't think this is a bad port of it. I just think me coming to it is I'm at more of a disadvantage because of how much of those games that I have played. Because they're some of my favorite. Like I think that series is rapidly becoming my favorite franchise of all time. But yeah. Also, I did finish Mega Man 11 on Switch.
What do you think of that?
There's a Digital Foundry video that actually I found myself lining up with, and they were basically saying this is the Sonic Mania of Mega Man games, where it's the right new one of those for that series, and I think that's right. I think that's a good statement because it touches all of the necessary aspects of Mega Man to be Mega Man, as well as being a good Mega Man game. I know a couple weeks ago we had the conversation like, is there room for one of those games? Yeah, there is, but is it going to make any waves through the industry? No, because we've kind of moved on. We could talk about Dead Cells and Celeste, and they're doing different things than Mega Man, but I feel like they are in more of a zeitgeist as far as side-scrolling platformers than Mega Man. But Mega Man 11 is a fucking good game. If you like Mega Man games, Jeff Glasson, happy birthday! I'm looking at you. You should definitely play it. If you don't like Mega Man games, Jeff Glasson, happy birthday! I'm looking at you. You shouldn't play it. So yeah, that's kind of the long and the short of it. But that it is a very good game. It's very well designed. Its mechanics are amazing. The gear shifting is really cool.
Can I just interrupt you for 1 second? The one thing I don't understand is why Captain Canada is not on the fucking show with us.
I mean, I was gonna sit here and talk shit at him, but like,
I'm just asking a question.
Sometimes he's like those legendary Pokemon. If you go after them, they just run away and disappear forever.
They just disappear, like
yeah. And I don't want him to disappear.
Seconds.
I want him to
Okay.
Okay. Live on the show, he says next week, Captain Canada, you are being held to this. You have 2 witnesses, and Corey will witness this when he edits the show.
Wait a second. I can't say anything in the chat.
Why not?
Because it says create a channel to join the chat.
He says he's more like Kaiser Soze. I'm okay with that. You could be Kaiser Soze, just not Kevin Spacey. You could be Kaiser Soze.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. I played more Dead Cells. Because I was done with Mega Man and stressed out about Dark Souls, so I played Dead Cells.
It's understandable to be bummed out about that. Yeah. And Dark Souls. Like I would be extremely bummed out about it just because You're such a huge fan, you know,
Yeah,
and
like I want to play this on the go, and then I realized, okay, this is just not gonna happen. I was sad for a hot minute, and I was thinking about it real heavily, but I was just like, you know what? I don't need to. I think I can be okay with this. I can be okay not doing this again. I also actually started and finished. Whoa, two Mises. Oh my god! Now I'm by myself. Am
no,
I
you're
by
not.
myself? Oh, okay. I don't see you. I got a black screen where you are.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Let me turn my camera off and on.
Okay, there he is.
What the heck is going on? All right, the chat must be jacked up. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. So Kelly was using Gmail before I came on, and she signed me out of it and signed herself in. So when I went to YouTube to pull up Nerds Gone Rogue, I was under her, so she doesn't have a YouTube account or a YouTube channel, and so therefore so I got to go grab the chat under my own thing. Anyways. Okay. So long story short.
So the last thing I was playing, I started and finished the Heist DLC from Spider-Man.
What did you think?
I was underwhelmed. I don't think it was bad. I thought it could have been better. I liked I liked this. I think the screwball challenges this time around were okay. I like the story of Spider-Man and Black Cat. I like how it turns into like Peter and Mary Jane having an issue with it, and I feel like they could have gone a little deeper rather than just being so she's back in the picture, huh?
So you wanted a little more than just a tip.
Yeah. I mean, you need to get some Shaft in there too, but that's a good piece of DLC, and again, I can't wait for the next one. I've heard
a lot of people complaining that it's not worth it, and Jeff seemed to struggle with the challenges and whatnot. So I don't know. Like he was like trying to do some of the stuff, and it was like he's like, I have it set on easy, and I still can't do this shit. So I don't know what's going on.
Like I mean, there were a couple of the challenges that kept me.
Although he is old.
Well,
happy birthday to Jeff. It's today.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jeff Glasson. Now, the challenges are not. They're not. I feel like they are more difficult than the ones in the main game. And I think that that's how it should be, because you're developing this as additional to what the game is. So there's a reason you could probably take it a step further. And I think they do it. I think they do it well, but there were a couple of them that took me like 3 or 4 tries, and that's and all that really entails is I was trying to figure, like, most of them were the combat ones. The combat ones were the difficult ones, because you have to figure out where to take down people and where to take down. You know, you have to have them die in this specific area, so your multiplier goes up. Like I don't think I got gold on any of them. I think I got silver on a few, or actually I think you have to get silver on all of them. But like eventually that it just becomes it becomes easy. You just have to if you fail a challenge, you can't just come back into it doing the exact same thing, because that's my trap too. Like I'll usually come back in, I just got to do it again and I'll be better. And then you go back in, all of a sudden you're doing the exact same thing you just did. So you have to sort of figure out where you missed it.
Cool.
But the story of it, I like. I think it. I look forward to the next thing. I started the New Game Plus on Ultimate difficulty, tore through a bunch of those missions,
and try and get that.
I'm gonna go
100%.
100%. Yeah, I'm gonna go after it. Just because swinging around Gotham is so much fun.
Gotham.
It is so much fun.
It probably is fun.
Yeah, swinging around Gotham. Swinging around New York. Sorry.
No, sorry.
Clearly, I'm a comic book fan.
It's just like, Wow, Spike's taking a trip upstate to Gotham.
You know, because clearly he needs to teach Batman how to kill, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Web Blossom is still OP, and I'm still okay with it. And then that'll take me to today. I streamed some more Spelunky, and I got 2 levels into the daily and ended up dying on some spikes because I'm a fucking idiot. But that was within 5 minutes of starting the stream, and then I usually try and stream for at least a half hour. I did another run, died real quick, and then I did another run, beat the fucking game.
Yeah.
So I beat Olmec this morning, and now I just want to go. Whenever I do that in that game, it makes me want to keep playing, so I can try and get to hell and beat Yama. But yeah, so at twitch.tv/infinite_rewind, you can see a video of me beating Spelunky, if you're into that sort of thing. And then Friday we got Red Dead Redemption, and I played a lot of that over this weekend. Moose, you played a bit of it as well.
Yeah, I even took Friday off for it. So yeah, played a lot of it on Friday. Played a bunch of it Saturday.
How far are you?
So we're gonna talk without using names. So I'm gonna try and do this. I got far enough in the game where you get through the little epilogue part and you move. Obviously, you know you're part of a gang, so you move the gang to an area where you can go out and start doing stuff. So like that's where I'm at, and I've done. There's like a bounty mission there. There's a hunting mission there. I've done. There's the uncle whatever his mission you can do. So I've done that stuff, and now can't really remember what I'm working on, but I was just in town. Oh, I went to go see Javier, which, you know, whoever that is.
Javier Escuela.
Yeah, kind of got in a bar fight, and now I'm at the tail end of that. So, and I just took a shit bath in the beginning of the day, and then I got all muddy because I had to beat some dude bigger than me up. I had to beat the crap out of him, and then I got all muddy, and so I went and took another bath, and coming out of there, I ran into someone, and they're like, hey, let's go do this. And I'm like, okay, I'd love to go do this. But I was like, it's time to. It was like a good stopping point for me to go to bed last night, and because I didn't sleep well Saturday night, and so I was like, I should probably. And it was like 10:30 when I got to that point. Like it got late, like real quick on me last night. So that's how much I was enjoying the game. And so I was just like, all right, I'll just pause it, put it on rest, and I'll play it, you know, tomorrow, which was tonight. But then I came home tonight and started farming in Bloodborne because I was like, I only have like an hour or so. So I was like,
okay. I'm at the same spot where you've reached camp. I've actually, I think I might be a little bit further than you based on what you've just said. I won't go super into it, but I've already found a bunch of references to GTA 5.
Yeah.
In that game. And one of them is a reference to the big mystery in GTA 5. And I appreciate that. Or at least
you're talking about the one that people were trying to find but couldn't find?
I think so.
Okay.
I'll just say it. There's a reference. I feel like there's a reference to Mount Chiliad in GTA 5. I don't know if Mount Chiliad has been figured out because I fell off of following that, and I never played GTA 5. And but I will say this: that game is overwhelming. The game is really overwhelming, and I'm probably going to have to repeat myself because Moose has stepped out. But it's beautiful. It is quite a looker of a game. But I also fall into the stupid trap of the mini games. Like I keep wanting to play poker. I keep wanting to play dominoes.
Poker's fun. Can I just put that out there?
It is, but it's fucking annoying.
Not like I'm gonna say this. Not in real life. I'm enjoying it in the game more so than I am in real life. But it's like it was cool doing the mission where you met the dude down by the train station, and he was drunk off his ass, so you had to figure things out. And, so you were playing. You know, he had some money on the table, so you took over for him to play.
Mm-hmm.
That was entertaining. Should have just let the train hit that motherfucker, but whatever. So, right. I'm a nice guy.
That guy's more trouble than he's worth. But like I think this game, and you were gone when I said this, but this game is quite a looker of a game.
It is. It's beautiful.
It's visually astounding. And I think it might actually be the prettiest thing Rockstar's done. I also want to say that it's fucking overwhelming.
It is. That was going to be my thing, and also, like, how many games have y'all done? Fix your fucking controls, man. Like, why are they so sluggish? I saw a tweet on Twitter Friday where somebody was like, or Monday, no, it's not Monday, yesterday, Sunday, where he said, try this. You know, to like try and like mitigate like how sluggish the controls are, you know, because everybody's like, oh, it's like typical GTA, like sluggish. Yeah. In my personal opinion, I don't think they're not as bad to me as The Witcher's controls. So if you don't have a problem with those, you won't have a problem with Red Dead Redemption 2's. But there's a way where you can like increase the sensitivity of things. Give me a second, I'll even look it up. But so I agree with you. It's overwhelming because you're like, there's so much stuff that you could do for your camp because you can help level up your camp, and like that's awesome. So like you can donate money, you can decide, hey, I'm gonna give money. I'm going to give,
or if you loot things off of people, you can drop that in there.
Yeah, and so like you steal stuff from people or find stuff. You eat animals like food. You can take deer back. You know, so it's pretty cool that you get to do that stuff. It's just like we said, it's overwhelming because you're just like, oh my god, like. Do I go do this or do I go do that? Do I go do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then also like if you're donating money to try and like help the gang, you're not saving up money to buy a new weapon or something like that. You know, so it's definitely has its pluses and minuses.
I mean, and the funny thing is, it's overwhelming without like the Ubisoft open world map vomit.
Yeah.
Like you don't see a lot of things on the map to do. But you know that, like, you know, if you're riding towards an objective and you see a deer, I'm going to kill that thing just so I can take the pelt and sell it. But then that could take you on a tangent, and then all of a sudden this 5 to 10 minute trek to this waypoint has turned into a half hour, 45 minutes. I found a legendary moose that I was trying to kill, tracked that thing for like 3 hours the other night. I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Sorry, you couldn't kill me.
No, it wasn't you, believe it or not, because I feel like if it was you, you'd square up for the fight. You'd be like, all right, you shooting arrows at me, bitch? Let's do this. Come on, I'm right here.
I haven't been shooting with a gun. So
well, I was trying to get the good pelt, not the poor pelt. Because if you kill stuff with guns, it's poor.
Or it's just regularly good. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. So for those struggling with Red Dead Redemption 2 controls, turn the aim/look acceleration all the way up, turn the aim look dead zone all the way down, and turn both sensitivity settings up to your liking. A few extra notches for myself. Doesn't fix all issues, but surely makes things more bearable, in my opinion. And I did find that I was having like it felt like it was moving more fluidly when I made those changes, because I changed my look sensitivity all the way up and the acceleration all the way up, took the dead eye look all the way down. So if it was Armoose, you just put out a beer lick and he'd be mounted on your pickup by lunchtime. Oh.
But like I'm liking a lot of the ancillary stuff in this game. Like, I like the fact that you could just watch Arthur's hair grow.
Yeah.
Like, I just decided I'm going to let all of his hair grow. He's going to end up full Billy Gibbons by the time I'm done with Red Dead Redemption.
I'm doing mutton chops. So
Okay.
I shaved his mustache and his chin. They're at a 4 right now.
You're going like Civil War general.
I'm going all out, buddy. I'm not touching those. I'll just keep shaving the mustache and I will tell you this: if you go to the barber, like, it's harder to fucking wife. Seriously, it's harder. Well, she leaves the microphone and she knows it beeps like fucking crazy. Well, she's probably outside playing with the dogs, trying to get some energy out of them.
Right. Yeah.
She knows I'm fucking recording. But anyways, but if you go to the barber, he won't trim it all the way down. So, like, I was sitting there looking at his face, and I'm like, his hair's grown a little bit from when I shaved it. And the barber wouldn't let me take it down any further than where I had it. So then when I went back to the camp, I went over to the shave kit, and I was able to trim it down to nothing. So I don't know. Maybe the barber just, because if he takes it away, he can't style it. So he wants to, like, leave it at a length where he could style it.
Could be.
If you want to take it down to nothing, you have to go back to the gang camp. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see how Rockstar adds to this, because they're going to.
You mean, like, do you think they'll do story DLC? Or are you talking, like, add just a whole nother town to go do whatever you want?
I don't know. Like, the online thing is just not there, right? We haven't.
Not until December.
Right. So I haven't even gone looking for it, so I don't even know.
No,
but I think like they'll probably add in new hairstyles.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
All that stuff. They'll probably add abilities to take, like, what the wax and do handlebar mustaches and things like that.
I mean,
I feel like they're
insane.
I feel like they're going to add this in a really cool way. Also,
I think, I mean, obviously they're going to add everything that you can with online, like, shootouts, OK Corral type style. They'll probably do some gang. You can be in a gang. You could be part of the Pinkertons or something. Or
there's a trophy for forming your own posse. So.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean,
is that in the game or is that specific to online? But the trophy's there, but just because online hasn't come out yet.
I think it's online.
Okay.
I was looking at it, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, do I want it? Like, I was afraid. Like, as we were getting closer and closer to this, I was afraid to get it, not just because of the problematic shit going on at Rockstar. That's another thing I'm not going to go into. But I was looking at it. I mean, I like getting platinums, and I like to not. I like to try and not do games I'm not going to get the platinum in. And I was looking at this, and I remembered how much I enjoyed the first Red Dead. I'm like, okay, if I enjoy this half as much as the first Red Dead, I think it's reasonable to say it'll take me forever, but I'll go for the platinum.
Well, that's what they were saying. They were saying that it's going to take over like 200 plus hours.
Yeah,
just because of the multiplayer. Yeah. But I was looking at it and I was playing it. See, like, I like trophies and I like platinums, but not as much as you do. And I'm not saying you're obsessive about them, but I'm not as obsessive about some people. Like I don't even like I'll buy a game and I don't care about it as far as the platinum goes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll look at it and be like, okay, yeah, I could do this platinum. Like I've already done a bunch of the missions in Grand Theft, and I'm like, I'm not going back and retrying that mission. Like I might go back. I like Grand Theft is one of those games that I'll play like maybe once a year, like once every other year. So like it came out in 2014 on the PS4, and I've played through the story like 3 or 4 times,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like Red Dead will be the same. Like I will beat the game, probably put it aside to try something else, and then like down the road I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
So I feel that's going to be the same with Spider-Man. It's going to be the same with. I really want to get back to trying God of War and give that combat a second shot. I want to do it before the end of the year so that I can better assess it for my game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think it'll be my game of the year, but it might be higher on my list if I go back to the combat and give it another shot. But so just like, and I want to get that platinum as well. So that might be something I clean up at the first of the year.
That's a good ass platinum.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
I mean, Spider-Man's was easy, so I want to get like something a little tougher. So I think I'd like to have, and eventually I do want to get Detroit and try and do Detroit's platinum. I'd like to get all the platinums of the really good Sony games from this year. So I already have 1 of the 3. I would just have to finish God of War. So.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I think we both agree this game looks cool and it's overwhelming.
Yeah, looks really cool.
Yeah.
Like I thought the opening sequence was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Was very reminiscent of the Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, I mean,
very reminiscent of that.
A lot of the nighttime scenes look a lot like the assassination of Jesse James.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot that's going into the way modern westerns are looking, and a lot of people I've had conversations with have like shat on westerns just because like, oh, I don't want to watch some cowboys. I'm like, that's not really what it is. But like this game taps into my love of western movies, because I think
Mm-hmm.
westerns have there's a lot to convey problematically and very, very mythologically, but I feel like it's a good genre, it's a worthwhile genre, and we could talk about the rock star sarcasm that goes into GTA, and none of that is here, and I appreciate that. I feel like it's a very different. There's more nuance than in GTA, but it's a very different thing, and I love the fact that it is so different than GTA. And I'm not hating GTA. I played all of those games up through 4, and then I just didn't want to anymore. I didn't think 4 was bad. I just didn't want to.
I think you would like 5 though.
I probably would, but there's nothing pulling me there. And I will say this: the fact that on the day of release in the Giant Bomb Facebook group, someone basically they drew a dick in the snow.
Yeah.
And they said, "Yep, game of the year." And I'm like, "Yep, okay." Because this is where we are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Red Dead is really cool. So we got some listener questions, Moose.
Yeah.
We don't have the boss here. So you and I are gonna see how we can ruin the listeners' day today.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting off with a Nerds Gone Rogue favorite, Deshaun Malone. If you had to pick 5 indies across PS4, Vita, and Switch, what would you pick as your favorites and why? If this isn't a Matt and Moose question, I don't know what is.
Indies across PS4 and Vita.
PS4, Vita, and Switch.
Switch. All right. because you got to mix like the old school with the new school.
Yeah.
You know, so what about picking 3 each? You think picking 3 each would be good? I think 3 each would be good. Like, or I don't know,
I could do 5. I mean, I've got 5 right now.
All right, PS4, Bastion, Transistor, definitely Helldivers.
Mm-hmm.
God dang, what else? Indie games, Hotline Miami. Well, that's on Vita, so I take that off there.
Phillips basically just said my list.
Yeah, that is his list. Dead Cells. And
he left out Dead Cells because I can only do 5.
Iconoclast. That would be a good one on PS4.
God, Iconoclast is fucking good, isn't it?
Vita. Yeah. For Vita, can I read your list? Because that's pretty much it for Vita. Yeah. Except for Hollow Knight. So Spelunky, Darkest Dungeon, Hotline Miami. I would go with Hotline or Ollie Ollie.
Ollie Ollie's
on the Vita.
I would do Ollie Ollie 2. I think Ollie Ollie 2 is the better of those games.
Okay. And then the Steam World Dig games on there.
Those are good.
And then Switch, I would go. I left off Salt and Sanctuary on the other 2. Those are honorary mentions, or an honorary mention. It should be on the list.
Yeah.
Because I was saving it for the Switch list, but I would say Earth Atlantis would be really good on Switch if you're wanting to pick it up. I bet you it is better on Vita than it is on PS4, Matt. It probably handles a little bit better.
Hotline Miami 1 was way better on Vita than it was on PS3.
So anyway, Earth Atlantis, I would say whatchamacallit, Dead Cells on Switch. I'd go Salt and Sanctuary on Switch, pick that up. If I had my Switch in front of me, I could run down some more. Oh, The End Is Nigh.
Yep.
Pick up The End Is Nigh.
Binding of Isaac.
So that's 4. Binding of Isaac is on the list. Golf Story. Golf Story is really good. I don't think Nintendo had anything to do with that, so I think you could call it a indie.
It is an indie. Yeah, so it's an indie because it came out on PC first, I believe, or no, maybe it just came out on PC and switched at the same time.
I didn't even know it was out on PC. That's cool. I'd love to see them do other sports, like a soccer story, or
yeah, that'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
That would be badass.
But yeah, like apart from all that has been mentioned here, I'll throw in Thomas Was Alone by Mike Bithell. That's a solid platformer. It's super quick and it's more reliant on story. I think Volume is only on
PS4 and Vita.
I think it's only okay. It is on Vita.
It's on both.
Volume is a really good stealth game, and I think that's also Bithell as well. And then I don't remember who did Never Stop Sneaking.
I don't know who did that either.
That's a good send up to Metal Gear Solid bullshit. Phillips in the chat mentions This War of Mine. I've not played that yet, but I want to.
I want to platinum that.
And then on Vita specifically, Papers, Please. Papers. Oh yeah, Inside Limbo by Playdead. But Papers, Please by Lucas Pope, I believe.
Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a good one for any of those platforms. Except I don't think it's on Vita.
If it's not, it should be, but I don't. You're right. I don't think it is either.
I think the only portable it's on is the Switch right now. But you could play another good indie that's on all 3 of the PlayStation platforms. Terraria.
Yeah,
Terraria is a lot of fun. Nice. Papers, Please have a new game.
Yeah,
what is that game?
It's called I think it's called Return of the Obra Dinn. Now Papers, Please is a really interesting. I like the way that this guy uses game mechanics to point out possible issues that the user might have. Because Papers, Please is all about being at a border checkpoint and looking at passports and trying to determine whether or not they're fake. Now, if you examine your own biases, like this game can point out all of that about you. Return of the Obra Dinn is about an insurance adjuster essentially trying to parse together a shipwreck and trying to place fault, I guess. I don't know too much about it, but a lot of the people that I like in the critical space tend to really like this game, and I wish I could play it. So hopefully it comes to Switch. Hopefully Papers, Please comes to Switch too. But Papers, Please is a way better game than any description of it will ever really give you. But yeah, we've mentioned a ton of indie games here, Deshaun. And I know that like we've mentioned all of those, or at least a giant majority of them before. That just proves to you we're not lying. We really like those games. So,
man, there's so many that I could even go deeper.
Yeah, like
if it wasn't like when you say like I'm gonna give a list of 5, like I try and pick the top ones.
Yeah.
There's like other ones out there like Songbringer, there's Chasm, Death's Gambit. There's a lot of indie games out there. The freaking No Man's Sky's turning it around.
No Man's Sky.
Now they've got a new Abyss DLC coming out. And I like you and I think are in the same boat in the fact that like we weren't disappointed by it because we tempered our expectations and didn't listen to the media, and so I enjoyed what I played of it, never got to beat it. You beat it and platinumed it. Yeah. And then when I came back to it, they were ready to apply the next patch, which allowed co-op, it allowed like story mode, which is awesome. That's great that they're finally delivering what they should have delivered. Excuse me. And so now, we're getting that. And then now we have one where you're going, deep sea fishing for some monsters or something.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I
couldn't. Yes, that Alien Nation is an indie game.
Alien Nation.
That's made by Housemarque. I mean, I think it's public. It might be published by Sony. No, they don't publish their games. I don't think they publish Housemarque games.
No, I think
Alien Nation is indie. Next Machina. Next Machina is a great shooter. Next Machina is awesome. So,
okay. So I feel like we've tackled this.
We've done that to death. We beat the indie horse to death. So sorry.
And, I mean,
viewers.
I'm not sorry, but at the same time, like I feel like
this is what happens when you leave Moose and Matt. On a show alone and answering a question about India.
Oh, fuck.
Indy.
Brought up Virginia.
Yes, Virginia. Really yeah. I forgot about Virginia. And that's a pretty easy platinum, too. Yeah. If you're playing it on PS4.
That's a good Twin Peaks-ass game.
Oh, yeah. I love the fact that it doesn't have dialogue.
Abzu. Jesus fucking Christ, Phil.
All right,
stop
Matt,
it now?
Enough.
I love you to death, but we got to move on.
Right.
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is really good too.
Because you're in the chat instead of on the show, jackass. You could just dial in.
How was I not on a goddamn? Really, dude? Really, Phillips? I can't. Next.
I can't with him. I can't. All right. Anyways, next question. Next question.
I'm moving to Chase Mayfield's question, or I'm sorry, Chase Hayfield's question. Found you guys through your Nintendo show, and I am really enjoying all of your shows. Now for my question, what are your favorite PlayStation exclusives to sell the system to someone who doesn't have a PS4? Asking for a friend. Moose, there's one.
Bloodborne.
Yep. Okay.
The single greatest co-op game in PlayStation platform history. No, it is. It's definitely the best co-op game on PS4. Matt, don't make me smack you.
I mean, I've always called it the secret best co-op game, and I'll stand by that. I don't know if it's the single best, but it's definitely up there. Not taking that. I'm not taking that away. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I mean, the list is pretty dang easy. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Neo.
It really depends on what you like too.
Although Neo's on PC, but I don't think it's coming to other consoles. So if you're talking PS4, so like Neo, Persona 5, you've got Ratchet and Clank, which is a great game. You've got the Shadow of the Colossus remaster, which just came out this year, which is better. You also have let me think what else you've got. I guess this year alone, you've got God of War, Ni no Kuni 2. You've got Detroit Become Human, which I heard is really good. I think Matt Phillips would stand behind that statement, saying it's good. And then whatchamacallit, Spider-Man. We had Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And then, I mean, if you're looking for a place for exclusives that's not Nintendo, and obviously Microsoft doesn't have any exclusives, then obviously you're going to have to go with Sony, you know? And then, I mean, and if you look at games coming out, Days Gone is April of next year. Ghost of Tsushima, which is by Sucker Punch, which is going to be awesome. And then The Last of Us 2, Neo 2 is supposedly coming out next year. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to own a PlayStation 4, especially if you're looking to buy one this holiday season. And we didn't even go into the indie exclusives.
Yeah,
like Helldivers is awesome. Resogun is amazing. Next Machina, and some of these are out on PC, but they're only available on PS4. Console wise, so Death's Gambit is locked on the PS4.
Death's Gambit's really good.
That's a good game. That's a solid game. Salt and Sanctuary was until it came to Switch, but Salt and Sanctuary is a really good. If you want a 2D side-scrolling Dark Souls, that's what you buy.
Yeah,
you buy Salt and Sanctuary.
That's kind of the gold standard for side-scrolling Dark Souls. Yeah. Hollow Knight is right behind it. But I also think we should talk about. I feel like you have to mention Uncharted.
Yep. Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy.
Me personally, I do not like the Uncharted games, but I won't sit there and say they're bad. Like, they're just not for me.
We forgot MLB The Show, best baseball game around.
I mean, the only baseball game, really.
Well, that's just because nobody else wants to make a baseball game. It's not like Sony has locked up those rights. That's like true. EA can make a baseball game if they wanted to go out there and make a baseball game. I mean, they just don't. But like the thing is, like, that game is a consistent 9 out of 10, like, every year it comes out.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same. I don't even think Madden does that well. Madden's usually like a 7.5, 8, like, every year. And it's just like, I don't know how they do it, but they do such a tremendous job with that game. So
I feel like the MLB The Show guys care about baseball, and they care about making baseball good and fun to play, whereas Madden, like, they rely specifically on we're the only licensed football game in town.
Yeah.
What do you know that where else are you gonna play?
Phillips, I don't know what OOTP means. So
OOTP is around.
But MLB is the best AAA one. So OOTP must be.
I mean, I'll throw in Fire Pro Wrestling because it's probably the best wrestling game, and I don't think it's available on Xbox.
No, I don't think it is.
Out of the park. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Out of the park. Yeah, isn't that that's like a smaller, almost an indie type, like
Is it like Baseball Stars then instead?
maybe or more like RBI
Um,
or something, perhaps. I don't know.
I'm trying to think if there's any genres we're missing.
We also got like the cool like Grand Kingdom. Grand Kingdom, if you're looking for a good RPG with an amazing art style, play some Grand Kingdom. So, oh, it's a sim. Oh, so I wonder if that's like Football Simulator or managerial sim. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Basically where you just manage your team and stuff. That'd be cool. But technically, like I wouldn't I don't even think that is definitely pertain to baseball, but that's not a baseball game. So still MLB is the only baseball game in town.
And then we should mention Infamous Second Son.
Yeah, and First Light.
I would specifically highlight First Light. I know you don't need Second Son to play First Light, but I feel like the context is there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, I mean, Metal Gear Solid. Oh no, that wasn't an exclusive, was it? No.
No.
No. Persona 5 wasn't exclusive.
Persona 5.
It's weird. Like I find myself completely foggy on Sony exclusives.
Marvel Spider-Man.
And that's probably because Sony has a lot of them.
Well, okay, so Last of Us Remastered.
Yeah, Last of Us Remastered. Yeah, if you didn't play that on PS3, play it here.
Phillips is in the chat. Until Dawn. That's super underrated. The Last Guardian. Mentioned Detroit, Become Human. We talked about Ratchet and Clank. So, I mean, they have like a crazy. I mean, and if you're looking to get a console and you're like, I want some some crazy, amazing experiences, and you could buy one game, you have. I'll say you have God of War, Horizon, and Marvel Spider-Man. I don't put Bloodborne on that list because I think Bloodborne is the most easily accessible of the Souls.
But it's still
the Blood Souls games. The problem is it's still a Souls game. So if you're looking for something that the average player is going to enjoy and that I would recommend, you've got Spider-Man, you've got Horizon Zero Dawn, and you've got God of War. Now, if I had to pick my favorite out of those three, it would be Horizon Zero Dawn. Personally, in my opinion, besides Bloodborne, for the average gamer, I would suggest Horizon Zero Dawn 10 out of 10 times, hands down. Yeah. If you're looking for a PS4 and you said, Moose, what game should I get for it? Horizon Zero Dawn. Unless you're insane like me and you love unless you like the Soul series, then I'd be like, get Bloodborne. So, all right.
So I'm going to move on to Derek the Man's question. What's up, nerds? First time, long time here, playing Bloodborne for the first time after hearing about it for so long, and was wondering what you think of the idea of From teaming up with Konami and making a Castlevania game. This game screams Castlevania, and I'm surprised you guys really haven't brought it up.
I think we've talked about it. I could have swore I've talked about it.
I don't want to be rude, Derek. I really don't. But we've always said that Bloodborne is the best Castlevania game not made by Konami.
Yep.
And I mean, if fine, we get long on these shows, and we could have said that at varying times after people have stopped listening. I'm okay living with that. We have brought that up. And what do I think of the idea of From teaming up with Konami? Would love it. Never fucking happening though, because Konami is just not. They are more interested in not doing video games.
Well, and then their problem is like limited. Like they just put out Requiem, Castlevania Requiem, which is the collection of Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. I turned it on and I'm like, wow, they did jack all in trying to make this game look better, remastering it.
Yeah, they didn't.
They just basically ported it over to the PS4 hardware, threw it in a collection, and said, "Here."
said, "All right, you can stop bugging us about it now."
Yeah. Whereas in like Capcom's at least like updating their stuff and putting like things in there that like, you know,
well,
fans would like.
I watched the Giant Bomb quick look of the Requiem thing, and the one thing that stood out for me is Jeff Gerstmann said exactly. He said the exact right thing. He's like, Symphony of the Night has rightfully earned its place as a legendary game, and Rondo of Blood was given that title based on the fact that it never came here. And while it's still a very good game, it's not quite as legendary. And it sucks that Konami, which is a rather legendary former video game publisher, developer, I don't know if they're a publisher or whatever, they're responsible for some great goddamn games, and they just basically fart out a collection to satiate people asking. Whereas they could have done any number of things to say, hey, we're happy that this game has made it to where it is. And, in Symphony of the Night, I'm looking forward to actually playing it on a modern console that hopefully holds up a little bit better than the Vita version, because I could not play it on Vita.
The good thing is trophies too.
There was a weird latency thing on Vita that I just couldn't deal with. But yeah, not to be derisive towards you, Derek. We have brought up many a time that Bloodborne is the best Castlevania game not made by Konami. Except for the fact that the whip kind of sucks in it, but that's okay. And then our final question from Sam Hall. My partner and I just started playing through Life is Strange, and I wanted to ask, what games do you play with your significant other?
None. She doesn't play PS4.
Me, on the other hand, I've played several games with Reba. She's not super into like modern games, which is fine. So a lot of the times, if we're playing something that has to be kind of side-scrolling or a little simpler or whatever, like we've played Spelunky a number of times. We both platinumed Adventure Pals, and we did that co-op.
I think the main thing is when you're trying to, so your significant other comes in and says, "Oh, hey, I like that game. I'd like to learn how to play that." And their problem is they beat themselves up because they can't play it as well as you can play it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you've been playing video games for God knows how long. Yeah. I mean, just alone the PS4 we've been playing since it launched, which was in 2013. So, I mean, I've been playing since 2014, but still, so they might not be as good at the controllers. I know I guess you would call it the Y-axis, looking up kills Kelly when she's playing first-person shooter. So she automatically is like, I can't deal with this. And so that's your problem. So you need to find games, like Matt was saying, that are like side-scroller and not necessarily simpler. Mm-hmm. Like not like just a jump and kick type thing, but like maybe the controls are easier. Like a twin-stick shooter you could use, and they could play that, and they can get used to having to use two thumbs, one to move in a direction and the other to fire in a direction. Like Helldivers. Helldivers is just, and that would be a lot of fun, and that would be a good learning experience on where not to fire, because it's got friendly fire. So you got that. But
oh yeah, first time I gave Reba a gun in Spelunky, she shot me.
Which doesn't surprise me. But,
I'm like, nope, you're not supposed to do that. And she's like, oh no, what do I do now? I go, good luck.
Yeah, you pretty much made your bed. Now you got to slip it in. But I mean, you could also find games for your significant other that are easier to pick up, even if they're single players. Just watch them play, or just hand them the controller and be like, I'm gonna go. I don't know, read a book, or go listen to music, or clean the kitchen up while you play this. Just take your time, because I feel like there's less pressure if you're not watching, right. And so it allows them to break out of their comfort zone, but be comfortable enough to where like they can mess up and they're not like, God damn it, you wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, and just to get back to the hardest question, he's asking what games do you play, and my answer is I'll play anything. I'll play anything Reba wants to play with her. I would love to, I love being able to share that time with her. Now, granted, there are some times where I want to just play games by myself, but if she were to come down, sit on that sofa next to me and say, "Hey, I want to play a game with you," and I'll be like, let's look through the collection. I want to play that with you. Okay, we're playing that then.
mm-hmm.
I will try and figure out how to play it, and I will try and teach her to the best of my abilities, especially if it's a game I haven't played before. Because you can't really be afraid to try.
Yeah, and Life is Strange is a good start. Like you could go with adventure games, you know, and then you could also do split screen co-op games.
Yeah,
like Terraria. You know, that'd be something cool where you could just chill and just hang out and play that together. Or Minecraft. I think Minecraft split screen.
Yeah, kill some slimes, deal with a blood moon. Terraria is a good time.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, so like, I will like Reba and I have played Guacamelee and some of Guacamelee 2.
Yeah.
We've played Unravel 2. And those games are perfect for that, or they're perfect for she and I, because a lot of the time, like especially with Unravel 2, like if we get stuck on a puzzle, we're both just trying stuff like all the time. It's not like so what do we do now? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? We'll both just like literally try and throw stuff at this puzzle until one of us, makes a little bit of headway. And then the other one will be like, hey, let's try this on top of what you're doing and see if it works. And then all of a sudden we've both solved that problem together. And that is a surprisingly therapeutic and empowering thing. And it made both of us feel good about doing something together. I would give any amount of currency for that kind of relationship building with my partner, because it's important. Like I don't play, like I like my new schedule where I work 12:30 to 8:30 every night, because I get my overnight stretch on Sunday to rebalance my sleeping schedule to where I can just play whatever I want by myself for a long ass time. But the times like on Saturdays and Sundays when I'm up and about and she wants to play, we can play together. It's kind of carte blanche at that point. So yeah, what do you play with your significant other? Play whatever you can, because sharing that time together is important. You got to keep that. Forget all this happy wife, happy life nonsense. I'm not saying that's not true, but if you guys aren't doing it together, it's not going to work out. Whatever you're working on, if you're not doing it together, it's not going to work out. And I say that as someone who's been divorced, and I look back on my marriage and I realized there was a lot we didn't do together. We should have done more together. Reba and I do a lot together, and I love it. So, that's a weird quiet, Moose.
Just listen to you chat, man. Words of wisdom from
I'm not wise. Don't do that.
Deep Thoughts by Matthew Q.
Why do they call it taking a dump when you're not taking anything? So that's all our questions.
Yeah. That's good.
We got a few minutes before I have my heart out. What else is new, Moose?
Streaming. Trying to stream more. Yeah. Trying to get some platinum plays in the mix. I'm trying to get more of a presence going on Twitter and Twitch. Like, so I finally linked my Twitter account to Instagram. So kind of right now it's just retweets and some comments, but then also some of my posts are just stuff from Instagram feeding into Facebook and Twitter. But you know, I try and get out there and reply to, you know, comments like in the gaming industry and whatnot, you know, people asking questions and, or, you know, like, what are you playing this week? Or what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And throw my 2 cents in the ring. But Twitch, just trying to figure out how people are like streaming and whatnot so that I can be a better streamer. So I go and watch them and figure out what they're doing. And I like a lot of the smaller chats, especially the smaller count viewerships, just because they're more personable with their viewers. Like, like if you go and watch Ninja who's doing Fortnite, I hate to say it, but that fucker does not give a crap about his chat. Like, he does not care. He does not care. And he might come off like he does, but, and it's not because he's like heartless. It's not that type of not caring. It's there's so much. How can I care? You know what I mean? Especially when you're playing a Twitch game like Fortnite and you really have to pay attention.
Yeah, where you have zero downtime.
Yeah. and you know, and then there's different types of streamers. So like Richie 2Ts, which I was talking about, he's doing his arcane build. So you just sit there and talk about like everything about the game that you want to, and talk about other stuff. And then there's one streamer, Woolly White Rhino, I think his name is, and he's over in England as well. Apparently a lot of people are streaming. Yeah, it's a great name. He's actually pretty cool too. He's doing his first run through Bloodborne, but he tolerates no backseat gaming. So like if you tell him how to do something, you're automatically banned from the chat. So like he doesn't want any tips.
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
Yeah, which is nice. I mean, like he'll take it, like he's okay to the point where like, say like you pick up treasure or you pick up an item and you're like, hey, was that new gear? Like, okay, he'll open up his thing and go, like, yeah, I got new gear. So he'll put his new gear on. He doesn't like it if you're like, hey, put your new gear on. Oh, by the way, equip your torch. Oh, yeah, go back and level up. And like, no.
What are you doing, you idiot?
Yeah. He's like, no. He's like, I just want to learn all this stuff organically. And he's like, just let me play the game and enjoy it, you know? And so, yeah. But it's pretty cool watching him, like, play through the game. And as I'm watching him, I'm like, man, it would have been really cool if I had that chance. Like, if I could go back and replay Bloodborne, and not that I would give up us playing through it together, like, but I think it would be cool to see what that would have been like. You know what I mean? Like just playing through it by myself with like no help, like trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Like I think that would have been cool, or would be cool.
I mean, like I mean, I still like, and that's something I'll have for like Dark Souls and Demon Souls, because I started both those games and immediately just felt just super oppressed by them in enough ways that like I'm like, I don't know, man. Like there's something here that I really, really enjoy, but I don't know if I can continue. And then I met Ahmed and he's like, hey, we could play that game together. You realize that? I'm like, no, I did not realize that. Now, the one downside of playing with Ahmed is by the time I played those games, he knew them back and forth.
Yeah.
So like, and you know, and I heard last week's show where you guys bagged on me running ahead. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. I love you guys. Fuck you guys. Love you guys. But like I realized when I was listening to that, I'm like, that's how I learned though. Like I learned with Ahmed just going ahead, and I'm like, wait, what'd you do?
Yeah. Like it would get to the point where I'd just be like, where the fuck did he go? Where did he go? Or like you and I were helping somebody and you're like running ahead, and I'm like, this is not, like, in my personal opinion.
Oh no, it's a shitty way to learn. It's a shitty way to learn.
Well, not even that, but it's a shitty way to play the game because it's not fun for the person. Because you're just basically backpacking them and you're killing all the enemies, And then it's like, well, what are they doing? They're just standing there. So eventually I just got to the point where I stopped listening to you and I just started jumping in and attacking enemies. And I was like, fuck your couch, Matt.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. And
then I think I even started a second playthrough where I was playing by myself where I can have, where I knew what was going on.
I'm just going to play Bloodborne in peace and quiet.
I mean, not that I don't love ABBA blaring in the background and us talking about, how our day's going.
So you speaking of ABBA, and oddly enough, this is actually going to work around. How are you? So you're liking the new Churches album a lot better now?
To an extent, yeah. I saw them live, and they're really, really, really good live. Like
check out the new album by Robin.
Okay.
Robyn. I mean, it's very synth poppy, very Churches. You might dig it. Okay. If you don't, fine. And the reason this wraps around to ABBA, she's Swedish as well.
Well, they're also coming out with 2 new songs and possibly a new album.
Yeah. Again, I'll believe it when I see it.
That's right. I agree. I agree. That's like people talking about the new Tool album. And I'm like, I'll believe it comes out when I see it.
I mean, and if I were a Tool fan, which I'm not, I think I'd be skeptical even after pre-ordering that. I'm not going to believe that till it ends up on my doorstep.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where, exactly. Because which I probably have to do because they don't do digital. So.
Tool doesn't do.
Nope, they're not on any streaming services. You can't buy them digitally on Amazon because their philosophy is our albums are written in a way that they're supposed to be, consumed in a certain order. Now, obviously, if you take your CD home and you randomize it, whatever. If you take a CD and you take the song off and make it your own, that's fine. They just don't want.
Hey, Maynard, shuffle exists.
I know. So, but that's why they won't do a greatest hits. But then it's like, okay, well, so he must be just the singer in the band and 25% of the band because Perfect Circle is on streaming services. Mm-hmm. They're on digital, so it must be the 2 or 3 of the other guys, the bassist, the guitarist, and the drummer, are just like, we don't want our stuff on digital.
That's fine.
Which is fine. And I think he formed Perfect Circle because Tool is so methodical in doing their music and they take such a long time, like fine tuning it, that he was like, I want to go out there and make some other stuff, So.
Well, I also think when you're in a band, there's a certain avatar-ishness about it. Yeah. Where like this band is this thing.
Yeah.
And I want to, if I'm going to say something a little bit different, I probably shouldn't say this as this thing.
That's true.
And I can understand it. I mean, I'm not a songwriter. I feel like I've just been me over the different podcasts I've been a face of, but that's just something I get it, but I can't do it per se.
I think they've also had a legal case with a legal suit that the guy that does their artwork, and they had to wait for that to finish before they could release an album because it could have possibly like taken some of that money or whatever. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you don't want to do anything till you get that situated so that it doesn't affect what you do next, and so that they were in a holding pattern. Because I mean, it's been like 13 years. It was 2003, I think they came out with.
What, 10,000 Days was their last one, right?
No, yeah, it's been 2005, or it was 2005. Yeah.
I remember I got a copy of that when I was at Mixdown. Good album.
Yeah, 10,000 Days.
That was a good album.
27 years.
They've been around for 27 years? Jesus.
No. 10,000 Days is 27 years.
Oh yeah. That was, and there was something about his mother with that album.
I don't know.
I mean,
I just know
like,
that they like math music. Like they like their music to have like, yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. Like the rabbit hole and trying to like, I just like the music. I'm just like, I don't need to dive down. I'm already down the Dark Souls rabbit hole. I don't need to
the times I've come into contact with Tool, I've never walked away from going, oh no. But I like, you know, I like songs by them. I've tried to like, I listened to 10,000 Days. I think that might be the only time I've ever listened to a complete Tool album from start to finish.
See, here's my thing. Like I think Undertow was the only album I can listen to without hitting the skip button.
Mm-hmm.
But when I listen to like Enema, I'll hit the skip button. When I listen to Lateralis, I hit the skip button. And I think I listened to like 2 songs off 10,000 Days. So it's just like, I'm definitely not as big of a fan as other people are, because other people are like, everything's awesome. You know, whole album is awesome. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just liked the way they sound. And I like what they were singing about. It's good stuff. But, like I've obviously moved on since 2005 to like other bands.
Yeah, you like your rock bands to keep it tight, 2 members, 3 minutes, a song.
A little bit. I branch out. I like the larger bands, and I know you are. Hell, freaking Band of Skulls is coming out with new music, which is awesome. I'm excited about that. And then I'm going to see Ghost in December. I'm excited about that. It's gonna be a good time.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So I ordered some vinyl recently.
I bought vinyl recently, but go ahead.
Nice. I ordered Yellow and Green by Baroness.
It's good.
It's a fucking good album. I know I told you and Phillips in our little chat that like that has become my favorite Baroness album.
Yellow and
Green.
Oh, it's like a double album.
It's 2 colors, yeah.
But it's a double album.
Yeah. Well, I think they have a bunch of double albums, but like this one is, one of them is yellow, one of them is green.
Oh, okay. I like the purple one. Just because I think that's what I got started on when Matt suggested an album last year.
Like purple. I think
it just came out. That's
all
why.
Of their albums are really goddamn good. Like I mean, I still go back and listen to Red every so often. I don't listen to the EP they came out with right before Red a lot. I mean, I have, and I was just like, I don't know. I feel like what they did on their albums was better. But I also found the Hotline Miami 1 soundtrack on vinyl.
Yes, I'm jealous about that.
For a very good price, and it is not cheap anymore.
Oh no, it's not. It's definitely not, and neither is the second one, probably.
No, I got the second one already. I got that when it was able to pre-order. I didn't realize that the first one had to be kickstarted. Like that's why it's so expensive.
That's crazy. Huh.
Like it had to be kickstarted, and I don't think it'll ever be pressed again. So
never say never.
Yeah, true. And then on top of that, I ordered the Katamari Damacy soundtrack on vinyl.
Nice.
Now, let me tell you, if you want, and I feel like you and I, despite our tastes, we do like some happy music. Katamari Damacy, fucking happy.
Nice. I like happy music.
Good goddamn soundtrack.
Nice.
And I cannot wait to listen to it on the records.
I need to get our record player cleared off so I can play I bought Church's first 2 albums.
Yeah, I
didn't buy the third one just because I was like, I'm not as huge of a fan of it as I am the others, so I want to listen to it more. And if I enjoy it more, then I'll probably pick it up.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it before it was out, so that's why I have it. And unlike, do I regret it? No, but like, yeah, it's not the bones of what you believe. It's definitely not Every Open Eye.
No, out of those 2, I think I like the second one the most, but the first one's still a solid album.
The first one's a solid album. The problem is the problem is its lead single is its first song, and everything is downhill from there.
Yeah, like they peaked with the first
Like they
yeah.
shot their wad
Well,
so
Lies?
hard. Now
Yeah,
I'm not saying there aren't any other good songs on the album, but like
I
with the way that everything about that track is
maybe
so
maybe it
magnetic.
was like it's downhills with a couple peaks that never reach back up, because I want to say like Lies is really good.
Lies is good.
Recover is really good.
Yeah.
Lungs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and the entire album is full of songs that are individually in their own right good.
Right. To be honest, I actually like Lies more than I do the opening single. So,
but the Mother We Share is because that was like their first big single, and it was just so magnetic and so repeatable. I mean, it's everything that I love about a good track one.
Yeah.
Except it's almost too much.
Yeah.
I
think Sleigh Bells is recording as well, and Death from Above. I might have a lot of new music in 2019 to listen to.
Yeah, I never did like Death from Above 1979.
It's understandable. Which is now just Death from Above.
Oh, they're just Death from Above now? Oh.
They were allowed to drop the 1979. Well, the whole thing behind it was somebody was like, no, you can't use that for some reason.
It was probably the record label Death from Above.
I don't think it was that. No, it was, well, yeah, actually you're right, it was. And so they reacted to his response in such a like weird way, an asshole-less way, that they were just like, all right, well, we'll call it 1979. And it wasn't like he wasn't gonna talk to him about it and be like, hey, let's work out a deal here. They just automatically took his response in a negative way, and like they've talked about like how they regretted their reaction to him saying no, they can't use that name or whatever. And so I guess they worked it out, and now they're allowed to drop it.
Well, I think in that when DFA Records showed up, and Death from Above 1979 showed up, like they were like literally within months of each other, because DFA had their first hit was LCD Sound System's what's it called, Losing My Edge. Like that was their first big cut, and then shortly after that, because this was like 2002 2003 ish, Death from Above showed up as Death from Above, and DFA is like, hey man, we just got here and now you're just getting here, probably a little weird, probably some confusion. And then they did their 2002 2003 circa indie band bullshit response, going, oh, we'll just add a number to it because everybody else does. Look at Blink 182. And they ended up doing what they did, and I don't know what James Murphy and Tim Goldsworthy's response to DFA or to Death from Above actually said, because I don't remember it. But I can see how it could be taken as smarmy, and then they would respond in kind with smarm, because that was just what bands did and label people did then. Enough rambling, Moose. What do you say we end this?
I'm fine with that. That sounds good.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in to Nerds Gone Rogue episode 119. My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me at @infinite_rewind on every social media platform I choose to be a part of. You can also find me on twitch.tv/infinite_rewind, streaming Spelunky every day until I beat Yama. #beat that Yama. Moose, where do we find you?
At Svhenn, SVHENN, on Twitter, Instagram, and PlayStation platform. You can find me chatting with Jeff and Jason about the PlayStation platform on Nerds Gone Platinum. And you can find me on Twitch streaming under Svhenn as well. Usually I'm streaming in the evenings, Eastern time. So like I'll come home and I'll stream for like an hour or so. If I'm streaming, sometimes more than not, it's Bloodborne to do my playthrough videos, because it's really weird how like the PlayStation 4 only allows you to record for an hour. So, but Twitch will record however long
Like,
you play.
24 hours is their limit.
Yeah, and so like I'll just sit there and play it and then record it, upload it, and Jason can hash it. But anyways, so that's where I'm at. You know, follow me there. Check out our YouTube page, Nerds Gone Platinum. I really don't put anything on my YouTube page for myself personally, just because, you know, I just have everything uploaded to Nerds Gone Platinum. So, but you could go back if you feel inclined to watch The Misadventures of Moose pre-release on YouTube. You can go to my Twitch channel and watch. I believe all episodes are up on there. So
I've watched bits of some of them. It's a good time.
It is. Oh, if you want to hear me rage out, if you want to hear, you could actually hear me hit the table in the living room, and it was almost the controller. But there, I believe it was 13, part 13, where I'm in the Upper Cathedral Ward, and Matt could probably tell you why I raged out.
The wolves.
No, it wasn't the wolves.
Wolves?
It's the damn brain suckers.
Oh, the brain suckers.
Guess how much insight I lost?
Like 8 to 10. More? 20? More?
I lost 30. I almost lost. Dude.
Fuck are you
They were so cheap. They were so cheap, man.
Oh, yeah,
God. That's why go watch that video and you will be laughing your ass off, Matt. You'll
okay,
like,
watch the Upper Cathedral. I'm watching that tonight before I go to work.
It was a good time.
Yeah. And well, I mean, and similarly, I rage out at Splunky. I mean, like I did today. I decided I was going to start doing the daily first, just so I could be at my sharpest. And I die 2 levels in, stupidly, I might add, that's how you die in Spelunky. And then you know, I beat the game no less than 20 minutes later. Like
nice.
And I'm sitting here going,
ending on a high note.
I mean, I at least said there, like, my goal is to do this on stream. Hopefully on the daily, but like, I mean, the day I beat Yama on stream, regardless of it being daily or not, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna go after the speed lunky. I'm not gonna try and 100% that, because fuck that.
You have a life.
Yeah. So once again, thanks for listening. We will see you next week. And as Corey would say, until next week, we love you. Yeah. And that is no less true, even with him not being here. Banana and out.
You're welcome.